We have a very dangerous storm that is hitting for today, everybody, bringing chances not only for strong tornadoes, but also a big straight line damage and wind event that's going to happen later after this. Now, we already had a crazy evening yesterday, and it's still going on. We still have tornado warning cells and a lot of strong winds pushing through for Iowa. This will continue for today. Plus, we have a lot of cold pooling that's going to build up for tomorrow, bring a lot of winds for today and tomorrow for the Northeast. And still showing the tropical moisture isn't doing nothing but that, bringing tropical moisture towards Mexico, and then what I showed you with the precipitation, so there's nothing to worry about in the Gulf. Now you see we already getting outlooks. Wow, we just got a moderate section. I was going to show you this storm mode with a tornado watch area that's going all the way towards 3 p.m. for 80 miles per hour wind gusts. But now we just got the moderate section. So let me go through that real quick. And so far we had 16 tornado reports over here from Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri into Illinois. Plus a lot of wind gusts and wind damage reports for yesterday. We're going to see more of this today in bigger area for the damage and winds. Now it did go up towards 500,000 homes without power or more yesterday, and we still have a lot. We still have over 390,000 homes without power, everybody. And right now the biggest is Illinois, 200,000, Michigan, 81,000, Ohio, 13,000, Iowa, 13,000, Kansas, California, 9,000. And actually, it turned into an even worse scenario, everybody. So I'm going to go through the latest update, and I'm going to read to you what National Weather Service says. So now you can see the upgrade. You can see the moderate risk, and this is for Chicago, Aurora, Rockford, Naperville, and Joliet, all into Illinois. But you also see it has eastern Iowa in there as well. Unfortunately, the tornado risk has gone up. Now we have chances for EF3 or greater tornadoes, the second intensity level for Iowa and Illinois. So here's your cities and states at risk for the tornado threat for today. The chances for an EF2 tornado is this white line. The chances for an EF3 or greater is this gray line on top. Also, the wind threat that has gone up as well. Still have it for the Northeast, but now we have this big 45% and this 60% chance for high winds. This purple section right here is chances for winds for 80 to 90 miles per hour wind gusts plus. So here's your cities and states at risk for the high wind threat for today. And here's what National Weather Service put out. Widespread severe thunderstorms are expected across parts of the Midwest and Great Lakes region, including Iowa, northern Missouri, northern Illinois, and southern Wisconsin to lower Michigan and northern Indiana. This includes the potential for widespread intense damage and winds, large hail, and tornadoes, some of which may be strong. Now you can see on vorticity that we still have the MCS rotating around and is bringing all these storms across Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, into Michigan. Then later this evening is going to bring that squall line that's going to pop up all the way from Missouri, all the way through Illinois, going through Indiana into Michigan as well, while we get storms brewing up over here for the Northeast, from West Virginia going across Virginia, Pennsylvania, and across the Delmarva as well. Now for tomorrow, we're going to get the cold pooling, and that's going to bring storms again towards the Northeast. So just be aware of that. And you can see this here. So we have the colder air aloft, help create these storms even stronger for today. And as we go through for tomorrow, we get the cold pooling, and that brings the storms for tomorrow as well. Now I'm going to show you the latest run data, and I'm going to show you a comparison between HRRR and between rapid refresh. That way you can see the difference, everybody. So here you are with HRRR showing these storms are still coming through for Iowa now, all morning long, all the way until early this afternoon, where that moves towards Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota. But then we start getting this line congealing up, and when you look at your significant tornado perimeters, this is where it actually has the best chance for these cells to strengthen and become that chance for that strong tornado as we go through the evening, everybody. So you can see this as this forms up for Iowa through early this afternoon, all the way into Wisconsin, Illinois, Missouri, stretches into far eastern Kansas, into northeastern Oklahoma as well. But this is what's bringing the straight line damage and winds. You cannot rule out a QLCS tornado and an embedded cell in that line of storms afterwards. So after the strong tornado threat, you're going to have the damage and wind threat that's going to go all the way towards this evening, towards Indiana into Ohio as well. And there's something I want to show you about that. But you can also see that these storms build up as we go through the afternoon for Ohio, going through Pennsylvania, then it goes through New Jersey, some of Virginia, and then it weakens down. Then again for tomorrow, this comes right back towards the Northeast, bringing more storms over here for New England as you get the tail of that storm going through for Canada. So be aware of that. Plus the storms that brew up all the way from Tennessee, West Virginia, across Virginia, Maryland, and the Delmarva as that comes across. That's bringing chances for winds as well. Now, the winds we're already getting for this morning, look at the wind gusts as we go through the evening. Look how that picks up all the way towards 11 o'clock. We also get it across the northeast. And then for tomorrow, the storms come right back again for the northeast, right across Virginia, Maryland, and the Delmarva across New Jersey, bringing 50 and 60 miles per hour wind gusts. There's something I want to show you. This is HRRR. It is a high resolution model, very accurate model. And you can see how this really intensifies for eastern Iowa around 4 p.m. Then it goes towards Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Showing northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin right around 4 and 5 p.m. is going to be a very dangerous time. Be aware of that. Going towards 6 for southern Wisconsin. And then it moves through across the Great Lakes. And you start seeing that damage and wind event as that grows through. You see how it kind of weakens down. It's still strong for Indiana, but it weakens down immediately from Indiana towards Ohio. And that would bring the winds down from the 50, 60, 70, all the way down towards the 40s. But I want you to see the difference. So this is HRRR. This is the most high resolution model that we use because it's very accurate. This right here is rapid refresh. So look at rapid refresh and look at the difference. You see how big and boldy all those storm cells are? And look how big and bulky the straight line damage and wind event grows as well. You see that going all the way towards Oklahoma with that by the time we go towards 7 and 8 o'clock. So now you see the difference between HRRR and rapid refresh. That's why I tell you all the time, we can only see with rapid refresh right now. HRRR is more accurate. Rapid refresh really hypes up these models. Look at all of that. If that comes into fruition, we're going to have a very big problem this afternoon, everybody. So for tomorrow, for Friday, you see the big risk across the northeast. We don't have the tornado threat for that. That's going to be for winds. So here's your cities and states at risk for the wind threat for tomorrow, for Friday. The hail threat will be on the low end as well, but here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for tomorrow. Now this will carry on to Saturday also. Even chances for significant severe chances for strong tornadoes, large hail, and hurricane force wind gusts, everybody. So here's your cities and states at risk for severe weather for Saturday. And it don't stop there. We have Sunday as well, going right back towards the northeast. So here's your cities and states at risk for the severe weather for Sunday. Once again, damage and winds and hail. Now this is going to bring some flooding, but a lot of helpful rainfall towards a lot of places. So you can see for the storm mode as we go all the way until Saturday, and then as we go through next weekend, this is where that cold front comes through while we get that tropical moisture pulling northward, and all the way towards Tuesday and Wednesday, bringing all this precipitation across the south and down through that front. So for the next 6 days of rainfall, you see how that comes down through Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas, but it really comes down towards Texas along the Gulf Coast. Brings a lot of heavy rainfall. This is going to be very beneficial towards your drought, but this will put you in a slight risk for flash flooding. And unfortunately, we're not getting a whole bunch over here across the southeast at all. So for today, you have your flash flooding risk. You have the marginal, but you also have the slight risk for Iowa, northern Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota. For tomorrow, it's going to go right back towards a marginal, towards the northeast. You are going to get some of your rainfall. But as you go through for Saturday, this is where it builds up again. For Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, western Tennessee, western Kentucky, and Illinois. Then as you go through for Sunday, this is where it lowers with the front. All the way for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. And Monday, as this moves across the south and the southeast. For Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama. So just be aware of the slight risk. We'll put ponding on the roads. So just be aware of your driving, please. Plus this cold front coming right behind it, everybody's going to bring cooler temperatures. We're starting to see a little bit of a warmer scenario across the south, which is expected. But here's the latest information. So for today, for your highs, you're going to stay over 100, 110 degrees over here for the southwest. Also for the south central, very hot. The 90s are kicking all the way up and along the east coast towards the northeast. With our heat index value, you're going to feel like 100 degrees or stronger across a lot of the U.S., everybody. Now for tomorrow morning, this is where that cold front's coming through, bringing in the 50s. But for tomorrow's highs, it's going to warm right back up, bring you right back into the 80s and the 90s. Still 100, almost 110 across the west and 100 degrees across the east as well. And with the heat index value, now you're really going to feel like 100 or over 105 across the east. But it will cool down again for Monday. So Monday morning, here comes that cold front coming down, showing the 60s won't quite make it towards central Texas, but you will feel it towards the south. You can see this with Euro. You can also see this with GFS. They're in a great agreement where this is literally going. Then as you go for Tuesday, it's going to come down again before it starts warming up. And once again, you can see this with GFS. They're in a great agreement. So like I was saying, this is a bad scenario that actually just got even worse, everybody. So God bless everybody. Keep everybody safe in this storm system. So hope everybody is safe through this scenario. Please be aware of this upgrade. God bless every single one of you and keep you safe. I should have another update this afternoon on the weather pattern coming, but in case I don't, I will see you again for tomorrow morning, God willing. Before I go, a quick word from our Father, everybody. Psalm 46, 1-3. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. Amen. I pray that God keeps you safe and your neighbors safe, everyone that is around you, everybody. Remember, above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Bless you all. I pray God keeps you safe.